Hi everyone, so today I am going to demonstrate how you make a sleeve. This sleeve was requested by Nikia from the Sewing with Cha-Cha Nicole group, and we're going to get started. So you can use a store-bought pattern to make this sleeve. You want to make sure that you're removing the seam allowance from the pattern first, and the amount of seam allowance will be found in your instructions in your pattern. So for this I use McCall 7999, and it's a fitted sleeve, and I removed 5/8 seam allowance from the fitted sleeve. And I also made mine slightly longer. I made it 27.5 inches long. Right now you'll see that I am adding a straight grain to the sleeve. After tracing your sleeve, you want to determine where the fitted part of the sleeve stops. So I measured down 13 inches and drew a line straight across. Right here you'll see that I'm adding seam allowance to the fitted part of the sleeve. I added a 1/2 inch all the way around, and then 1 inch seam allowance or hem at the bottom. Now for the top, I'm going to divide it into sections. Right now I have 10 sections. They're 1.5 inch apart. You want to cut out the sleeve and then cut out each section. I actually didn't have a long enough piece of paper. Well, I did, but I didn't want to be wasteful, so I had these scraps here, and I just taped them together and found the center. Once I found the center, then I was able to draw a straight grain line, and now I'm going to assemble each piece, and they're going to be 1 inch apart. Now if you want some extra flair, you want it to be dramatic, you want it to be big, I would suggest going as wide as you want to, the distances in between. The 1 inch apart wouldn't give you any grand sleeve, but you can do maybe 2 inches apart, 3 inches apart, so that it's really wide. Just make sure that you have enough fabric to cut out two, because you'll need one for each arm. You can also see that I put number 5 and number 6 close together. If you wanted to, you could actually just make that all one piece. You want to make sure that each piece is lined up straight. I'm using numbered or dotted paper, and it helps me to keep everything straight. What you could do is just draw a straight line at the bottom of the sleeve, so that you know that each piece is going to be laid down correctly. Now I'm going to measure up about 1.5 inches from the top of the sleeve cap and use my French curve to create a curve that goes around from the sleeve cap all the way over to where the seam would be for the sleeve. Now if you don't have a curve, you can also eyeball it, making sure that you're blending into the original line. Now you want to add seam allowance to the arm side and also to the bottom of the sleeve piece. Oh, and don't forget about the side. Okay, now it's time to cut it out. Make sure that you're also marking your front and back notches, as well as the notch that indicates where it attaches to the shoulder. Okay, great. So now we have our two pieces for our sleeve. You want to make sure that you're measuring the grain line. Measure from the top of the grain line over to the selvage and the bottom over to the selvage, making sure those numbers are the same. Right now I'm using a rotary cutter to cut out this sleeve. If you don't already use a rotary cutter, they're so convenient. I would recommend it to anybody. Also, you want to make sure that you're clipping into your notches. Right here, you'll see that I am marking the wrong sides of the fabric. You want to do that with some kind of chalk or something that's easy to come off. And right now I'm marking the center of the top and the center of the bottom of the sleeve so that I know where they connect together. I also did a basting stitch on the top part of the sleeve so that it can gather and attach to the bottom part of the sleeve. Now you can see it's nice and gathered. It looks good. Now I want to sew down the under part of the sleeve. I also did basting stitches at the top of the sleeve so that I can pull that and gather it and create some nice gathers up at the cap of the sleeve. Okay, and this is just a more close-up view. I was working with red fabric before this, so it's red fabric everywhere and also red thread everywhere. Now I'm turning the sleeve to the right side so that you can see exactly what it looks like. And it is looking good. I have my gathers up at the top, some nice gathers that connect to the fitted part of the sleeve, and you can see it better here on the dress form. There's no arm attached, so it's kind of hard to see exactly how it would fit, but this is what it looks like. And because it was hard to see how it would fit, I also tried it on. I'm not dressed, so that is where the emoji comes from. And you can see it better here. It's not super exaggerated, but like I said, if you wanted it to be exaggerated and you wanted it to be big, you want to make sure that you add some more space in between those pieces that make up the top of the sleeve. I hope that this helps and have a great day.